So what do we have here?
This is Windows 7. We're here at WinHack enjoying the show. So one of the things that we've added in Windows 7 is support for multi-touch gestures. We can see here that we've got panning hooked up, and one of the big tenets for Windows 7 is that pan, zoom, rotation like everybody expects them to. One of the things you may have noticed is that the window actually has some feedback when you try and pan in a direction you can't go. This feedback is very important for the user to understand that they've reached the end of the content. They can in fact pan the other direction, but in usability studies we saw that sometimes people were confused by the action of the scroll bar. If I drag down here, it actually moves the content down. But panning is actually the opposite. I drag up to move the content down. Direct manipulation can effectively grab the content in the window and moving it around. So feedback when you've reached the end of it in this window bound is very important for showing the user that they've reached the end of the content. We've done some other work to show off a touch-optimized application here. This is a great example of if you were to build an app from the ground up for touch input, what you'd end up with. It would be very difficult to do something like this with the mouse and the keyboard, but it's incredibly natural with touch. If we go, zooming into Seattle here, we can go look for the Space Needle. We can change the view, add some tilt, add some 3D models and elevation. Zoom in over here, and then let's pull up the aerial view. Zoom way in on the Space Needle, circle around it, you can see an EMP in the background, and then let's go find downtown. So we can go surf around in downtown. Again, let's change the tilt a little bit. And you can see the Columbia Tower, some of the other buildings downtown. This is a great example, from our point of view, of a touch-optimized experience. It's really sort of a showcase app that shows you things that you can do with touch that would be very hard to do with other input methods. And not only a great demo, but we hope inspirational for a lot of ISVs to build these sorts of experiences.
What about the taskbar earlier? You were showing me the difference between the touch and the mouse taskbar.
One, the taskbar is a little taller. That wasn't done just for touch, but certainly benefits touch. We've done things like take jump lists, and you can drag these out. If you were using a mouse, you can right-click on Internet Explorer or Explorer itself and get these jump lists. With touch, it's very natural to drag these out almost like a drawer. There are features built into other apps as well. Besides just getting the gestures working across the OS, here in Paint, we've added some multi-touch support to some of the brushes. This device, this piece of hardware, supports 2 fingers, and you can see I can ink with 2 fingers. If the hardware supported more contacts, I could ink with however many fingers it was able to detect. So we've done a lot of work across the OS as a whole to add support for touch.
So how big is your screen?
This is 42 inches.
Yeah. So is this the kind of thing that's going to be commercially available based on all the touch capabilities in Windows 7?
We're looking at a broad range of form factors, everything from little tiny mobile phones to laptops to all-in-ones like the Touch Smart to giant things like Surface and these screens. So this particular device, I don't know, but yeah, we're certainly looking at a broad spectrum of hardware.
Yeah, good deal. Well, thanks, Reed.
Cool.